Hi, just to let you know what I've been up to lately. Yesterday I went to Worcester. I went to join a demo held by the EDL, that's the English Defence League. We were there to protest about a massive mosque being built in Worcester. This mosque will hold 1,300 worshippers at one time. They plan to build on the site 4 apartments, a community hub and a ladies only gym. In my opinion, obviously the mosque is for people that worship Islam only, and the gym will be for Muslim ladies only, and I should imagine that the only people that will use the community hub will be young Muslim people. It will be a place for them all to meet and to talk and to enjoy themselves. Sadly, in England, most of our community centres have been shut down by the government because of cutbacks. Our young people don't have anywhere to go, and sadly they do end up on the streets. So we went to protest because like hundreds and thousands of other people, we don't want another mosque in this country, to be quite truthful, because inside mosque we have proof now. We've known for years and years because our Tommy Robinson has been telling us about the mosque, he's named them all, where hate preachers have been preaching to people, and some of those men have turned out to be murderers. They have come on our streets and killed people and injured people, and they have come from mosque where hate preachers have been allowed to preach in that mosque to hundreds of worshippers, and they have not been stopped. Even though the majority of people in those mosques are good people that do not want to cause the people of Britain any harm, they still went and worshipped there and allowed the hate preachers to preach. So that is one of my main reasons. Prisons and mosques are a hotbed for terrorists, and we do not know what is being preached in those mosques. We are not invited to go in there at any time, like you can walk into a church when it's open. I went into Worcester Cathedral today. I wore what I wanted to wear. I wasn't told to dress in a certain way. We allow anybody to come into our churches, our cathedrals. You're welcome, but you cannot walk into a mosque. Even if you're a Muslim woman, you cannot just go into a mosque when you want. You have to pray at a different time to the men. You cannot pray in the same room. So it's not that good, really, I don't think, to live in a Western country where we're all supposed to be equal. And that is what I want, is equality for everyone. So I went along. I wanted to see what the EDL were about, because on the TV and in the media, they are just portrayed as thugs and troublemakers. I met a couple. I didn't have loads of conversations. It wasn't that kind of rally. It was quite a small rally. There was a handful of people that I'd met from other rallies that I met, and it was lovely seeing them. A lovely warm welcome from the lads and a couple of the girls that were there. So it was lovely to see you. I spoke to a couple of people, and they were educated people. They were very hot on their education in Islam, and they could see how our country was being changed, and they worry for their children and their children's children. Same as me, us that are in our 50s, we probably won't get to see the mass change of this country, but if we're really honest, we are seeing a change now. Think of where your grandparents lived, or maybe you lived as a child. Would you go back and live there now, even if they gave you a house for free? I know where my grandparents lived. I would not go and live in that area now. It is not the same. It's changed, and it's changed for the worse. So anyway, going back to Worcester, I did speak to a couple of people that was just stood at the side, and spoke to them about how they felt about a mosque being built. And this lady particularly was talking to me, said she didn't want another mosque built. There were certain areas of Worcester which had changed. I mean, if you go into the Worcester city centre, it's absolutely lovely. Same as most places, you've got your different areas where you think, my God, if I go down to Gloucester Docks, what a wonderful place. And maybe if you walk down Barton Street, there's a difference. So I guess it's the same in every town, in every city. She didn't want another mosque, but she didn't feel confident enough to walk through the streets of Worcester protesting against it. She came to look at the EDL as well. In her opinion, she said they did seem a bit threatening by the way they were like shouting out. Just the way they were. It was a lot of men, you know, shaven heads. And I just said to her, but look again, look at what they're actually saying. Are they saying anything threatening? You know, what are actually they saying? I said, just look beyond how they actually look, and just really see what they're saying, listen to what they're saying. And she agreed, actually. She said, yeah, you're right. She said, but we all go on appearances. And that's true in some sense. I suppose I've been on a few marches. So I'm used to how people are, but I've never ever felt threatened by anyone. And I did feel welcomed. So the speeches after, let's go back to like marching through Worcester. You've got the lefties and the Antifa crowd being abusive. As always, I just walk by because they love it when you react. That's what they want. They love it because they will get someone to film you shouting at them, and you won't get the full story. But the EDL lads, they weren't having any of that. They were in their face. They were giving it back. And you know what? I don't blame them. You know, I'm sick of being quiet and not, you know, retaliating to them. So in some ways, you know, I choose not to retaliate the majority of the time. But I think if anybody wants to, then that is their choice. And maybe they're so chopsy, the Antifa lot and the little leftists that stand by, because they know that people won't retaliate, because we don't want to be seen in a negative light, which the media love to portray us. So we went through Worcester. Lots of people just stood there and did nothing but say, you always get your idiots calling you a racist and a fascist, just for a change. Then we had some speakers on. They were just people that were speaking from the heart. And that's all I can say, you know, fair play to them. They had the balls to stand up there and talk to us, and just talking from the heart. And I just thought, well, you know, good for you. And, you know, I was glad I went to support those people, because they put their hand in their pocket and they travelled to get to these towns and cities to protect our beautiful, or once beautiful, country. So good on everybody that showed up. And I don't really think it matters if, you know, you belong to the EDL, For Britain, Britain First, UKIP. We all want the same thing when you actually talk to people. We are fed up with the way our country is changing, the way we are treated by the politicians, by the police. It is one law for them and one for us. And that's not, oh, that's stupid. No, it's the truth. When you talk to people who have been in situations where they have been involved in conflict against maybe a Muslim person and themselves, the sympathy seems to be for the person that's committed the crime and not for the victim. I spoke to a journalist, and he's probably going to turn everything around that I've said, so I'm being prepared for that. I think he was from the Worcester News. But I gave it back to him, and I asked who was funding for the mosque, and he said the majority of money was coming from Saudi. Now, why would Saudi want to fund a mosque in UK? They have very strict laws in Saudi, very strict laws, and that is why the refugees don't want to live there. They follow Islam, but there is no way the people that want to come to countries like England will live in an Islamic country. They know their lives will be crap. So why do people want to fund mosque in this country? And my belief is nothing's for nothing. So let's give a massive chunk of money to mosque. Let's buy up loads of buildings in England. Let's really buy the country, and then we will wait. And when it's the right time, we will go and say to those imams, we paid 3 million for your mosque. Now you're going to pay back. And even if the imams and the worshippers do not believe in the laws they have in Saudi, they don't want Sharia law in our country. Nothing is for nothing. So all that money that is being ploughed in by Saudi to build these fantastic mosques, to buy up our beautiful buildings in London and all around, nothing is for nothing. Just wait and see what happens to this country. It's been bought, and they are buying more and more of our country. So that's my update so far. Hopefully I'll be going on a few more marches. I'm a member of For Britain. If you don't know anything about For Britain, please look it up. Anne-Marie Waters is the leader. I think she's fantastic. Excuse me. I think she's fantastic. I spoke to the guy from UKIP in Gloucester on Saturday also, and we had a good conversation. So UKIP or For Britain, if you don't want to go on marches, if you can't put things out there because of your jobs, I totally understand it. But you can vote, and if you've never voted, start voting for Britain or UKIP. Vote for a party that is not afraid to face the issues that this country is facing, because your grandchildren will suffer. England, United Kingdom, will not be how we knew it as children. We can see the change now, and it's only going to get worse. Thank you all for listening. Bye.